Hello, 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 and welcome to this week's Energize to Rise. We are Tuesday today instead of Monday. I was traveling yesterday. I had a 6-day travel extravaganza with 3 speaking events in 3 different cities on both sides of the United States. So I had 8 flights and all kinds of things over the course of 5.5 days and was traveling yesterday. So here we are, Energize to Rise this week on a Tuesday. Now, if you've never joined Energize to Rise before, if you're new here, every week we identify for yourself what's one priority that you want to get done by Friday. Sometimes I'll give you kind of a bonus priority if it's something longer term, but then I give you an energy hack, something to tap into one of your 7 energies from my flow formula. And this week we're going to talk about confidence energy because right now we are all settling into the end of the year with the holidays and things like that. We're also thinking about what's coming up for 2025. Many of us are goal setters, resolution makers. We have goals that we have to set for work. So it's really important that your confidence energy is turned on, because if your confidence energy is blocked and it's not flowing like it should, it actually will prevent you from thinking clearly about what it is you really want. Because when we're scared, overwhelmed, anxious, burnt out, stressed, those things shut down your courage and that confidence energy that tells you, I got this, I can do this. And then we think small, we think safe. And we don't want that to happen when you're thinking about your life and your vision and your career goals. We want to be sure that your confidence energy is clicking and flowing and on high, so that when you say, you know what I want to have happen for my life, you know you can do it, because that's going to drive so much momentum, so much engagement and excitement about what's next for yourself. And I'm no stranger to that dynamic, because right now 2025 is coming up. If you've been following me for a while or you've heard me speak on stage, you know that I've got a lot of stuff happening in 2025. My daughter graduates from high school. And if you know my backstory, I was widowed 17 years ago when she was a baby. So it's just been the 2 of us, our little team, moving things along. And so she's going to be gone, which I'm super excited about. She's excited about. She's going to end up somewhere in the United States. She's applied to colleges all over the US. But it also means the world is my oyster. I can go and do anything that I want. And my plan is to sell everything I own and do a little exploration of my own, of the world and of places I wanted to check out, and hanging out with people that I want to see more often and things like that. So sometimes when you have too many choices, it can lead to a little bit of fear, a little bit of anxiety that then shuts down your ability to set goals. And that's kind of where I'm at, to be fully transparent, is I have so many options and so many things I could and can do in 2025. I'm like, oh my gosh, how do I set goals? Am I going to be able to do this? How am I going to navigate it? How am I going to make it work? So I am right there with you if you're in a place where you're like, I don't know what my goals should be, or I'm overwhelmed, or there's too many options. Or another thing about goal setting and confidence is having the confidence to say no to things that do not ladder up to what it is that you want. It has having the courage to have boundaries around the things that pull and drain your energy, the people that pull and drain your energy. You want to be sure that as you move forward with your vision and the things that you want for your life, that you aren't saying yes to things out of guilt, because that's going to cloud all of your ability to move forward. So today, what we're going to do is we're going to identify your priority for the week, maybe something going forward for 2025 too. And then I'm going to give you an energy hack to turn on your confidence energy so you can start to feel like you've got this. You know that you've got the courage, bravery, skills, talents, abilities, awesomeness inside of you to make anything that you want happen, whether it's by the end of this week or whether it's more long-term. So if you're new here, the flow formula, here it is. We're not going to spend a bunch of time on it. If you see me speak on stage, you've heard about it and you've dug into it. If you've taken the 7 energies assessment, you maybe know all about which ones are blocked, neutral, or flowing for you at any given time. It changes every single day, but you can go take that 7 energies assessment at my website, KristenBrownPresents.com. You can take it for free, see which of these 7 energies are blocked, neutral, and flowing. It always starts with vision, which tells you what you want, short and long term. Then the strategy energy is about the plan. How are you going to make that vision happen? Communication energy is how do you tell the world about it? Even when people aren't like you, don't like you, or you don't like them. Pen relationship energy is having the right people around you to make things happen and having boundaries around the energy vampires. Then we have confidence energy, which we're talking about this week, which is all about that ability to say, I got this, right? We're going to do that today. Creativity and energy is having fun along the way, releasing the pressure of everything through having fun and passion and having innovative thinking and things like that. And the motivation energy is how do you maintain flow forward when you have the best of intentions on all of these things, but motivation can sometimes get blocked. So we need to have a plan for that. So that's the flow formula. Today, we're talking about that confidence energy so that you can make sure your vision and your strategy can happen. And you know that you've got the goods and the skills and the talents and the awesomeness to make it happen. So let's start by saying, by Friday, what is something that you would love to have happen by Friday? It can be small, it can be big, it can be personal or professional. I want you to write it down because that number one priority of the week, even though you might have a whole bunch of priorities, writing it down and telling yourself, this is something that's actually going to move me forward in a meaningful and powerful way is much more than just thinking about it. You want to have the visual reminder. You want to have it on your to-do list. You want to put things on your calendar because the more ways that you can actually turn on your brain and your body into engaging with this particular goal or priority, the more likely you are to make it happen. So write it down. What's your number one goal that you would love to have happen by Friday? Now, we want to be able to give you a little taste of what it means to have the confidence to actually make that happen. So if you were to think about that one thing that you want to have done by Friday, what will it take to actually make it happen? Of the skills and talents and abilities that you have, what is one thing that you know that you can actually tap into to drive that one priority forward? For me, I'm right now trying to figure out my 2025 goals, but I actually have the National Speakers Association CSP Summit this weekend. That's the CSP is Certified Speaking Professional. There's only 400 of us in the world that are active certified speaking professionals. And this weekend is our annual summit where we get together, help each other mastermind ideas for short and long-term goals. And so I have to have some clarity by the end of this week to bring into that summit with my group of 11. There's about 150 of us that will be there so that I can ask the right questions and get the right feedback from the other CSPs that I'll be in the room with that I'm masterminding with. So I need to really step back and say, okay, what do I want? And what are the skills that I can use? I know I'm a visionary. I know I'm really good at thinking about long-term stuff. I am terrible at little tiny in the weeds tasks. So I know I need to step back and say, okay, how can I get really clear on where I need help? What are some of my gaps? What are the things that I want? Because I know what I want long-term, but some of the short-term stuff is a little bit foggy. So I have to tap into my superpower, my confidence energy of that visionariness, but also the awareness of some of my challenges. Because when you know what your challenges are, and also knowing what you need to say no to, that can also be really powerful when you're going after goals and after priorities, and to help you drive your confidence forward and have that courage to say yes or no to the right things. So you've identified your priority. Now I want you to identify one superpower that you have, a skill, a talent, ability that you know can drive that thing forward for you by the end of this week. Maybe it's a work project and you know that you're great at organization or leading a meeting or leading a project. Maybe it's a personal goal, something with your kids, and you know that you're a great parent and you're a great listener and you're a great problem solver. Whatever it happens to be, identify that one superpower, tie the two together, the priority and the superpower, and all week long, every time you work on that problem or challenge or decision or priority for the week, remember this, your one superpower that can help you drive it forward so that you can keep that turned on, active, and flowing all week long. All right, so that is Energize to Rise this week. We get together for 10 minutes or so. We identify your priority. I give you an energy hack, and then I send you out into your week. If you want more on this, I mentioned the 7 Energies assessment. You can take that on my website. I'm also right now booking up all my 2025 breakthrough results tour stops. So if you have an organization, a company, an association that you belong to that really want to dig into these 7 energies and how you can create momentum, drive your decisions or sales or anything like that over the course of the next year, please reach out. We can do a one-time keynote, a longer training. We can do my annual program where we meet every single month or every single quarter to ensure we're creating that engagement and long-term success for yourself and your group. So reach out, KristenBrownPresents.com. Otherwise, go out there, energize to rise, turn on that confidence, and get that priority done by the end of this week. See you next week.